Tonight on Our News, rush hour turns deadly on East Street after gunmen opened fire at a popular eatery, killing one and injuring two others. Our News was first on the scene. And suicides and attempts are up this year, mostly among men. A noted psychiatrist says multiple factors are behind the spike. The mental health community sounds the alarm. But first, amid growing rifts in the Junkanoo community, the Fox Hill Festival Committee moving full speed ahead with Emancipation Day celebrations, calling on Bahamians to show up, sound off, and keep the culture alive. Then in Our News at 7:30, a high-tech update on the way for Bahamian elections. The acting parliamentary commissioner breaks down what's changing, who needs to register, and how your data will be protected. Our News live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to Our News live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kendino Knowles. Despite growing uncertainty and tensions within the Junkanoo community, the Fox Hill Festival Committee is forging ahead with plans for its annual Emancipation Day rush, urging Bahamians to show up in unity and keep the tradition alive. Delvado Emmanuel spoke with organizers. He gets us started tonight.
Official from the Fox Hill Festival Committee says with or without participation from those in the Junkanoo community, the parade will go on. And there will be at least one Junkanoo group participating. Yesterday, Genesis Warhawks confirmed they will take part in Monday's Emancipation Day Junkanoo Parade in Fox Hill. The group says they're standing firm in their commitment to cultural expression. Earlier this month, the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence called for the suspension of all Junkanoo-related activities. For weeks, there have been controversy and unrest in the Junkanoo community over the National Junkanoo Authority Bill 2025. But the Genesis Warhawk says it remains undeterred, pledging to keep their drums beating for unity, regardless of the consequences. Their stance drew backlash, with the JCNP threatening to suspend the group for its involvement. Despite the Junkanoo drama, Fox Hill Festival Committee Chairman Warren Davis says it won't stop their show.
Oh, definitely be rushing. We'll be rushing. We'll be here. Like I just said, the minister will be here. I'll be here. My committee will be here. And some of the guys at the Fox Hill, I have some commitments and other group members. They'll be here to rush.
This year's Emancipation Day celebration will kick off at midnight with a Junkanoo rush out. The festivities continue with an ecumenical service, senior luncheon, a day full of cultural activities, from greaseful climbing and watermelon eating to live entertainment and traditional games. The committee is calling for all to come out and enjoy the festivities.
We'll do a big rush together, and we'll come together as one and rush through the streets of Fox Hill.
Fox Hill MP Fred Mitchell also on hand to show support at today's press conference. He says this is about protecting culture and creating a safe space for families.
In 1942, after the Burma Road riots, the then colonial government tried to stop Junkanoo and couldn't. So the drums get beaten anyhow. So I wouldn't worry too much about all the talk about who's coming and who's not coming.
Davis says concerns over who may or may not show up shouldn't dampen the spirit of the occasion.
So we say, come, bring your cowbells, bring your horn, bring your whistles.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
All right, thanks for that, Delvado. A judge has dismissed a murder suspect's claim that an amendment to the Bail Act is unconstitutional. Iman Jane Fitzgerald's bail was revoked after she was convicted of breaching her bail conditions for the 2015 murder of her reported boyfriend, Keith Russell, in Grand Bahama. She was granted $20,000 bail in 2016 after the court ordered the removal of her ankle bracelet. Fitzgerald traveled to Colombia in 2019 without court approval. Colombian police arrested Fitzgerald on drug possession charges. She was deported to the Bahamas in 2024 and charged with breach of bail. She pleaded guilty and was ordered to pay a fine of $4,000 to avoid spending 8 months in prison. Fitzgerald served the sentence as a judge also revoked her bail. In a constitutional motion filed in April 2025, Fitzgerald alleged that her arrest, trial, and detention under the bail amendment were unconstitutional and void. Well, the familiar hum of afternoon rush hour on East Street shattered by sounds of rapid gunfire on Thursday evening. Hit by the hail of bullets, 2 customers and an employee of Twin Brothers Takeaway Restaurant. Our News was first on the scene shortly after 5:30 as dozens of residents looked on in horror, police blocking the area with crime scene tape. At the scene yesterday, Police Press Liaison Officer Chief Superintendent Sharia King provided these details.
What we can say to you at this time is that two males, customers of an establishment on East Street, was purchasing items from that establishment when a small Japanese vehicle pulled up. Two male occupants exited that vehicle and discharged gunshots in the direction of those two male customers, fatally wounding one, and the second was transported to hospital with injuries. Both of these males are in their early 20s to mid 20s, and we would also like to confirm that there was a third victim, a female employee of that establishment, who was also injured and transported to hospital.
And the chief superintendent making this familiar appeal.
If you have any information in reference to this homicide, to please contact your police at 911, 919, or at CID to provide that information so that we can investigate this matter thoroughly and provide justice to these victims.
And there's been a shocking rise in suicides and attempted suicides in the first 6 months of 2025. The troubling spike has not gone unnoticed by the mental health community. Well-known and respected consultant psychiatrist Dr. John Dillett says it's cause for concern. Police statistics show that 8 suicides were recorded between January and June, up from 5 during the same period in 2024. Men made up the majority of the cases, accounting for 6 of the 8 deaths. Attempted suicides also up, increasing from 23 to 32 cases. But just what's causing the spike? Dr. Dillett says there are several contributing factors.
But I think overall the rate of hopelessness and feelings of helplessness in our society, I think, are rising. I think the way that people are living, where there's a sense of unfairness, that the behavior may not necessarily be reachable and approachable for them, I think is unfortunately bearing out in these numbers, not just of completed suicides, of course, the persons who are attempting suicide as well.
As for suicide prevention, Dr. Dillett says it's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Are we putting actual dollars and resources behind it? We have a significant shortage of trained professionals in key areas, whether it's psychologists, whether it's occupational and recreational therapists, etc. And we have lost many professionals in key areas, and they have not been replaced, nor has that complement been increased. So how we actually spend our dollars and how much money and resources we actually allocate is a better indication of how significant and serious we're taking the problem.
All right, it's August 1st, and that means it is the start of the crawfish season. Hundreds of fishermen heading out today to begin harvesting the delicacy. Marine Agriculture or Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, Jomo Campbell, broadcasted a public service announcement in honor of the day. In that message, reminding fishermen that their role is more than making ends meet for their families. The minister says it's also about helping sustain crawfish stocks across the country. Now, in a videotape message, Campbell also revealed last year's season had record-breaking sales.
Last year, the Bahamas celebrated its most successful crawfish season in recorded history, a clear indication that when we combine responsible fishing, enforcement, and innovation, the results benefit us all. This remarkable achievement is a testament to the resilience and dedication of our fishing community and the policies we continue to put in place to protect our marine resources.
Now, the season runs until March 31st, and Campbell is cautioning fishermen to follow the rules.
I urge all fishers to comply with the legal tail size requirement for spiny lobster, a minimum of 5.5 inches. Conservation starts with each of us, and by respecting these regulations, we protect our livelihoods and our marine ecosystems.
All right, we've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson, he's standing by in the Weather Center. Happy Friday, Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Candian, and a happy Friday evening, everybody. What a way to end the July month and begin August. It is very hot on the outside, and we did have those temperatures getting into the 90s once again. But we are closing out July and entering August on a warm note. 86 degrees is our current temperature with an east wind at 9 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is a very warm 94 degrees. Temperatures right now around the family of islands, Wall in the mid to upper 80s, 87, Freeport, Grand Bahama, Marsh Harbor, Abaco, Alistown, Bimini, Nicholstown, Andros. We pick up 86s, Marsh Harbor, Abaco here in the capital, Governor's Harbor, 85. Central Bahamas, 87 in Kemps Bay, Georgetown, and in Arthurstown, Cat Island, 86s, Black Point, Exuma, Deadman's Key, and in Copen Towns in Salvador, Port Nelson, Rum Key, 85. Southeast Bahamas, more 85 and 86 popping up there with 85, Duncantown, Ragged Island. String of 86s, Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable, Bay Acklands, Abrahams Bay, Megawana, Providenciales, Turks, and Caicos Islands, Matthew Town, Inago, Deep South. You have a temperature right now of 87. Satellite radar composite. It is still quiet across our region. High pressure is in charge, and we are on the western periphery of that high. So that's going to keep us in that east to southeasterly flow, bringing some Atlantic moisture across our area. So we saw a couple of isolated showers. We will continue this pattern throughout the weekend and into early next week. We do have a little bit of a troughing across the area. That's going to help to spark those showers throughout the weekend. So some spotty showers will remain in the forecast. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, the idea of what our FIBA America team will look like is starting to take shape. The most important thing, though, is that we have John on the bench, so we'll be all right.
The concert is going to be dealing with how life was in the Bahamas in the past, what has changed, and what still remains the same. I'll be taking them down, I hope, not Memory Lane, but Memory Avenue. There's a big area we're going to be covering.
Nassau, get ready for a night you simply won't want to miss. For the first time in over 40 years, experience an evening with Eddie Menace live at the Amphitheater, Nassau Cruiseport.
Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
More than 20 years in the making and still growing. Everywhere you turn, our news is there. From Caripta to Caricom and Chogam, the commendation of a queen, the coronation of a king, the controversies, our culture, in times of conscience and collective grief, connecting the stories of a country coming into its own, from then to now and still to come. Our news is everywhere, always there when it counts.
Every week, one show drives the national conversation. On the Record. We challenge the issues, ask the tough questions, and dig deeper. We bring in the experts, the decision makers, and the voices that matter. Our discussions...
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. The Bahamas Basketball Federation has unveiled its preliminary roster for the upcoming FIBA AmeriCup in Nicaragua. A mix of veteran experience and emerging talent highlights the 19-man list. Headlining the group is NBA forward Kai Jones, returning alongside veterans Travis Munnings, Franco Miller Jr., Kentuan Smith, and Keno Burrows, all of whom were featured in last year's historic Olympic qualifier run. Another NBA talent, Isaiah Mobley, looks to make his national team debut in a front-court talent pool that also includes Tavario Miller, Sammy Hunter, Nathaniel Bastian, Kenny Isnord, Dan Rad-Knowles, and Aaron Lavarity. Guards like Dominic Bridgewater, Rashad Davis, Garvin Clark Jr., Godfrey Roll III, Aaron Gordon, Joshua Dames, and Jackson Jacob bring continuity to the backcourt.
Dayton Aubrey plans for his Bald Head Elite basketball camp to be more than just a weekend, but a long-term investment for the future of Bahamian basketball. Aubrey's vision is for players to stay connected with him beyond the court, gaining access to his skill development drills and mentorship throughout the season.
Team Bahamas delivered a strong showing at the 37th Caribbean Amateur Junior Golf Championships, capping off the event in Puerto Rico with a third-place overall finish. The girls' 15 and under division was the standout, led by Madison Carroll, who claimed individual first-place honors, and a team first-place finish alongside Haley Hall. Both the girls and boys 18 and under teams finished third overall in their respective divisions. The under 13 teams both had fourth-place finishes, while the boys 15 and under team also placed fourth. And we send you into August with the 10YS Plays of the Week. That'll do it for Our Sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as President Trump's special envoy tours a controversial U.S.-Israeli aid hub in Gaza. Critics call it a hollow stunt as tensions flare. Plus, fewer customers and falling profit. But Starbucks says revamped stores and protein drinks could be the fix. And after 7 years of trying, one Ohio couple welcomes a miracle. We'll tell you the baby boy born from an embryo frozen since 1994 when our news returns.
Every week, one show drives the national conversation. On the Record, we challenge the issues, ask the tough questions, and dig deeper. We bring in the experts, the decision makers, and the voices that matter. Our discussions shape policy, influence change, and inform the public like no other. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episodes on our YouTube channel. The conversations that shape the Bahamas start here, on the Record.
What do you get when you're searching for the whole truth?
Less than 24 hours after the body of 12-year-old was discovered on a track road on Faith Avenue, police say they...
You get the most comprehensive half hour of news.
Breach of the party's constitution.
Behind me is what remains of the Victoria Court Apartment Complex.
Our News at 7 brings you that truth in all of the day's top stories, sports, and our view of the world. Join me, Candino Knowles, weeknights for Our News at 7. Stay with the team you already trust.
From 2017, one show has set the standard for current affairs in the Bahamas, and that's On the Record, one of the longest running current affairs shows on RTV. We've been the place where newsmakers come to talk. We've sat down with leaders in government, cultural icons, industry leaders, and international experts. From breaking news to in-depth analysis, our conversation sets the tone.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. For the first time, United States President Donald Trump's special envoy to the Middle East has visited controversial American and Israeli-backed aid distribution sites inside Gaza. Steve Witkoff, accompanied by U.S. Ambassador Mike Huckabee and Israeli military officials, toured a Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, or GHF site near Rafah on Friday. Witkoff said the trip was meant to help Trump assess conditions and shape a plan to deliver food and medical aid. But rights groups and Gaza residents blasted the visit as a publicity stunt. One local man told the BBC it was a hollow media stunt, not a humanitarian mission. The United Nations says hundreds have been killed near GHF sites amid chaotic scenes, although Israel denies firing on civilians.
Oh, it's terrible what's occurring there, yeah. It's a terrible thing. People are very hungry. You know, the United States gave $60 million for food, and it's a shame because nobody, I don't see the results of it, and we gave it to people that in theory are watching over it fairly closely. We wanted Israel to watch over it. Part of the problem is Hamas is taking the money and they're taking the food. But we gave $60 million a couple of weeks ago. Nobody said anything about it. Nobody said thank you. But I didn't need to thank you. I just wanted the people to get fed. And we're helping out financially with that situation. It's a terrible situation.
A baby boy in Ohio has reportedly set a new world record. Born from an embryo frozen more than 30 years, according to MIT Technology Review. The couple welcomed Thaddeus Daniel Pierce on Saturday. 35-year-old Lindsay and her husband Tim Pierce told MIT they tried for 7 years before adopting the embryo, originally created in 1994 by Linda Archt and her then-husband. Rejoice Fertility Clinic in Tennessee performed the transfer, and MIT reports Archer chose the Pierces through a Christian embryo adoption agency, wanting to stay connected to the child who's biologically related to her daughter. Starbucks, hoping new products and better in-store service will help perk up sluggish U.S. sales. The company says same-store sales in the U.S. fell 2% last quarter, marking the 6th straight decline. Customers spent more per visit, but Starbucks says traffic was down 4%. CEO Laxman Narasimhan told investors Tuesday that simplified menus, new protein drinks, and revamped store layouts are part of the turnaround plan. The company's quarterly revenue hit $9.5 billion, slightly beating Wall Street expectations, but profits reportedly dropped nearly 50%. And U.S. authorities are warning consumers to check their Celsius energy drinks after some cans were accidentally filled with vodka. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration says the issue affects the Astro Vibe Blue Raz edition after a packaging error caused empty Celsius cans to be shipped to a vodka seltzer company called High Noon. The FDA says High Noon then filled them with alcohol. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration says no illnesses have been reported, but the recall includes lots shipped to Florida, New York, Ohio, South Carolina, Virginia, and Wisconsin. Full lot numbers are listed on the FDA's website. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was August 1st. Then in our news at 7:30, nearly 6 years after Hurricane Dorian, a Grand Bahama woman sharing her family's harrowing survival story and emotional journey in a powerful new memoir, how Tara Pyfram is finding healing and helping others do the same. But first, the financial secretary says tourism revenue numbers are solid despite IMF concerns about outdated data. Hear why he insists the figures are accurate and why tax returns are key to backing them up. When Our News returns.
He took a PVC pipe because I questioned him whilst I was 7 months pregnant, and he hit me across my stomach with it, pushed me down on the bed, and he would rape me.
I told his daughters he's a rapist because that's what he's been doing to me when they're in there.
He always told me that this was something that fathers do with their daughters to express love and affection.
Because I am a woman, my children are presumed to take the citizenship of their father.
For God's sake, I mean, just morally, domestically, we are entitled to correct the problem that was done in 1972, 1973 when the Constitution was made.
We are overrun with sexual predators, but even worse, we are overrun with people who protect them.
On this day in Bahamian history in 1790, Bethel's Meeting House, now known as Bethel Baptist Church, was founded by slaves Prince Williams and Samuel Scriven. It was called a meeting house since at the time, the law forbade black men from holding positions of leadership in a church. Then in 1834, the Emancipation Act of 1833 came into effect in the British Empire. In the colony of the Bahamas, the act only affected those in bondage under the age of 6. Everyone else who was called a slave was now classified as an apprentice and required to work 40 hours per week without pay as compensation to their former owners. 1 year after the Emancipation Act came into effect, the Friendly Society was formed in Grantstown, New Providence. At the time, the area was mostly swamp where liberated Africans and now emancipated slaves lived, grew food, and traded amongst each other. Then, in 1891, Asa Hubert Pritchard was born in New Providence to William and Margaret Pritchard. Pritchard was a businessman, politician, and member of the House of Assembly representing Eleuthera. He became Speaker of the House in 1946 and served there until 1962. Today, a business on Robinson and Claridge Roads carries his name. Pritchard died in Nassau on March 18, 1990, at the age of 98. Then in 1973, Milo Boughton Butler was sworn in as Governor General. He succeeded John Warburton Paul, becoming the first Bahamian Governor General, and served from 1973 to 1979 when he passed away. And finally, in 2014, a state-recognized funeral was held for Edmund Moxey. Born on Ragged Island in 1933, Moxey was a former member of Parliament who made significant changes as the MP for Coconut Grove and as a senator. He was also a farmer, musician, writer, and activist.
"27 aspiring construction professionals entered the National Training Agency's pre-apprenticeship program. 84% of them were males, but the females told me at their certificate ceremony that they held their own.
It was not intimidated because I was not the only female. I mean, that definitely made it feel better not being the only female, but I don't think anywhere I go I would be intimidated by males because I feel like besides the gender, it's just like, you know,
A refreshing
two people
statement made from one of the
coming together to do one
program's
job.
graduates, Andrea Pettyfair. Launched on June 30th in partnership with the National Apprenticeship Program, the 5-week program focused on the basic fundamentals of the construction industry. It included interviews with some of the biggest names in the industry. To conclude the course, participants were recognized amongst family and friends at the National Training Agency this morning with certificates of completion. Ian Algreen says he's gained countless life lessons from the experience.
The most valuable lesson is emotional intelligence that they taught, and it taught you how to act in a workplace and how to control your emotions and everything like that.
Terrell DeVoe was presented the High Achiever Award, a recognition he credits to God, his family, and his fellow cohort members. He says the group constantly challenged each other, an attribute that kept everyone on their A game.
The competition really pushed me to do better with people, with the grades being so close. It really gave me the drive to be the best.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, thanks so much for that, Danielle. To watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. That's going to do it for us in News at 7. Up now is Atalia Hall. She has got the latest headlines. TGIF, Atalia.
Yeah, for you, not for me. I'm here tomorrow
And I'm glad
and
about
throughout
it.
the rest of the weekend and on
glad.
the holiday. I'm here with you guys, so be sure to stay tuned
You know,
at
I'm sorry
7:30.
it's you, but I am super glad. and
You
it's
deserve
not
the
me.
break. You deserve the break. Thanks so much, Ken. Well, coming up, a Grand Bahama woman sharing her family's harrowing survival story and emotional journey in a powerful new memoir. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on Our News at 7:30, a new high-tech voter ID system is raising eyebrows as the Parliamentary Registration Department faces pushback over privacy, transparency, and logistics ahead of the next general elections. Our Sasha Lightborn sits down with the acting parliamentary commissioner to discuss the matter. Also, Financial Secretary Simon Wilson hits back at the International Monetary Fund's doubts about how the Bahamas tracks visitor revenue. Plus, health professionals encouraging breastfeeding at a symposium this morning in the capital, saying it's a vital step to improving maternal and child health. And later, a 22-year-old woman is sentenced to a year behind bars after the court found her responsible for neglecting her toddler, who was discovered with serious injuries in 2023. The story when Our News at 7:30 returns.
Tourism today, Bahamas tourism today.
Founder and owner of Riptide Brewery, Christine Albury, welcomed visitors and locals to come and celebrate the company's 5th anniversary.
On tap, we presently have Mermaid Shandy. It is the locally made.
Whether you're battling a chronic condition or offsetting a new injury, Doctors Hospital's comprehensive rehab services offer the help you need now.
Let's go to doctors.
3 advanced facilities at Collins Avenue, Carmichael Road, in Cable Beach means your personalized plan for care is just a visit away. From physiotherapy to occupational therapy and speech and language pathology, our team approach is all about rebuilding together. For a full list of services, visit doctorshosp.com/rehabilitation. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
At Struckham, we're all about peace of mind. With the latest tools and technology like PestPack, managing pest control just got easier. It's simple. Log on to the portal to review past services or monitor trends. Just tap Service Reports to access detailed records and see how we're keeping your business pest-free. You can even customize permissions so your teams in maintenance and health and safety have real-time access to everything they need. With PestPack, you're in control, anytime, anywhere. Get ready to simplify pest management with just a few taps.
In the Bahamas, island time is real. The history of Morris Lumber Company, established in 1945, is etched into the fabric of this proud island nation.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Atalia Hall. The introduction of the biometric voters cards has raised concerns about data security and also questions about the registration process under the new digital regime. Our Sasha Lightborn recently sat down with the acting parliamentary commissioner to get the answers.
Acting Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson has been in the seat for just over 4 months, but he knows he has a monumental task on his hands, preparing the country for the next general election. And these elections will be different with the introduction of a new biometric voters card.
We have to be a part of the modern society, and around the world, the process is being modernized, and the Bahamas don't want to be left out. You have nothing to fear with the process. The process is secure, your information will be secured, and we at the Parliamentary Registration Department will ensure that all of the information that you share with us is really secured.
The new cards, which will be valid for 10 years, won't be ready until January 2026 once the verification process begins. But it's the features of that card which Thompson says are unique.
The features of the card will have the information basically that you have on your voter's card now, except that we have a QR code on the back of the card that will have your biometrics information, that your fingerprints and your face and all your other personal information will be on the QR code.
So who should register?
We have a continuous register now, so if you're on the register now, you are safe to vote in the next election.
Okay, so I have my purple card, next election, we don't know when it is, but it's coming up.
Yes.
If I want to keep my old card, I can.
You can, yes.
If I want to get the new card, I can.
Yes.
Or I can keep both cards.
You can keep both cards, but if you get the new cards, it'll be more convenient for you.
Persons who have turned 18 since the last election and those who have changed constituencies should also register. Thompson added that the information on the new cards is 99% secured, but if tampered with, Thompson says there will be consequences.
We don't expect to have any breaches of the security, but in the event, you have some very intelligent people, they say these days, who go to all means to try to do something nefarious. There'll be provisions in the law to deal with that, to even be given a fine or to be in prison or both.
But here's a question that's popped up over and over. With these digital advances, what happens if there's a power outage?
You will have the backup of the old printed register, but the e-poll book have a lifespan of about 2 days. So the electricity will stay on for 2 days. They'll mark, they can continue to mark, and once the Wi-Fi come back on or the electricity come back on, it'll just migrate the information.
Now, the amendments to the Parliamentary Elections Act is expected to be debated in the House of Assembly next week, after which it will head to the Senate. Reporting for Our News, I'm Sasha Lightborn.
All right, thanks for that report, Sasha. And with the 2026 general elections on the horizon, Progressive Liberal Party Chairman Fred Mitchell says the PLP is confident they will return to office. Mitchell, who is also the Fox Hill MP, insists the Davis administration has put in the work since being voted into office in September 2021. Mitchell telling reporters today that he believes the Bahamian people will recognize the results.
We've done the work. We have put in the hours. Our people are generally satisfied with what has been delivered. We know that we have miles to go before we sleep. We know that in order to complete the job, we need a second term. We're going in a spirit of humility and asking people, given all the facts of what you see, give us a second term so that we can finish the job. And I think that people accept that message is a good message.
On June 26, at its candidate launch, the Free National Movement named Dr. Nicholas Fox as its candidate for the next general elections. When asked if he's confident he'll defeat Fox and return as MP for Fox Hill, Mitchell had this to say.
My focus is on continuing our work. I have all these people who support me. They continue to do the work. They can speak for themselves about, how we maintain our presence in here. And we don't go around, saying bad things about people of Fox Hill, even though the present fella is going around bad-mouthing the same people that he was born into. So, you have to be careful what you say when you're running for office. The fact is, we believe in the people of Fox Hill. We have a mission to carry out, and whoever comes, we will make the case against the FNM.
Financial Secretary Simon Wilson is defending how tourism revenue numbers are calculated, saying the figures are undisputable. His comments came while speaking at the Rotary Club of West Nassau's meeting at the Poop Deck West on Thursday afternoon. It also came weeks after the Tribune newspaper reported that the International Monetary Fund flagged the country's tourism estimates as potentially inflated and warned that outdated data collection is making it harder to track where money is coming from or going. While Wilson admits the traditional method of measuring tourism expenditure might have deficiencies, he insists data tax returns help them tell a clear picture.
One of the best barometers of economic activity is VAT returns. VAT returns last year and this year are growing by double digits. So across the board, in all sectors of the economy, we are seeing more robust economic activity. That's without, I don't think anybody can dispute that. That's without doubt.
Wilson went on to say there's one part of the tourism sector that is expanding rather rapidly, the cruise industry.
Last year, we recorded the highest level of growth in maybe 20 years, in real growth. And that was driven by the strong performance with respect to the tourism sector, particularly in the cruise sector. We have seen significant cruise investments in Coco Key, in Ocean Key, in Half Moon Key, in Great Star Key, which is the Norwegian's property. And they really drove growth.
Well, the Ministry of Health, in partnership with the Bahamas Breastfeeding Association, hosted a Latch-On Symposium this morning aimed at promoting the importance of breastfeeding nationwide. It comes as lawmakers recently debated a compendium of health-related bills, which includes a national breastfeeding strategy. Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville says once passed, the legislation will give the association the teeth it needs to help Bahamian children get the healthiest start possible. The goal of the organization to see 99% of Bahamian mothers breastfeeding. Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville urging mothers to embrace the practice and its benefits.
There is nothing better than breast milk for the child. I want to say that again. There is nothing better than the breast milk for the child. Its nutritional value, it has the necessary antibiotic protection effects, the immunological benefits, and the list goes on and on. So the Bahamas must understand, and all of our mothers and those who are planning to be mothers must understand that breast milk is the key for the development and growth of our children.
Also weighing in, spouse of the Prime Minister Anne-Marie Davis, who says she fully supports the initiative.
Breastfeeding is a public health imperative, and it protects babies from illnesses, and it lowers the risk of chronic diseases in both mother and child.
Well, a mother has been given a 1-year sentence over an incident that caused her 2-year-old son death in 2023. Justice Neil Brathwaite handed the sentence to 22-year-old Sabrina Henry after she took a plea deal. She is expected to receive counseling while in custody and will be on probation for 1 year once she's released. Henry and her partner, Denargio Thurston, were both charged with manslaughter by negligence concerning the August 15 death of Jeremiah Thurston. On the day in question, Thurston was driving along Old Trail Road with Henry in the front passenger seat. While in the back seat, little Jeremiah's neck got caught in the electric window without his parents noticing. Other motorists had to bring the mishap to their attention. Tragically, their son was already dead. Thurston's case has been adjourned to September 25th. Coming up in about 5 minutes, a Dorian survivor turns her pain into purpose by writing a book that focuses on the tragedy and how she and her family were able to heal. But first, nice weather on this TGIF Friday. Hopefully, we continue to experience these conditions throughout the weekend. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and happy TGIF, everybody. A warm evening on the outside right now. Temperatures in the mid-80s, 86 degrees our current temperature with a few clouds. East winds at 9 miles per hour. Your feels like temperature is a very warm 94 degrees. Satellite radar composite. Some patchy clouds and some isolated moisture moving across the area, courtesy of a low-level disturbance moving east to west. It's going to be moving across the area, but high pressure remains the dominant weather feature that's keeping us mostly stable, but those temperatures are rather warm. We're looking for some very warm temperatures for the balance of the weekend. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, 6 years after losing everything in the deadly Category 5 storm, a Grand Bahama woman releases an emotional book, hoping her journey through Hurricane Dorian of survival and faith will inspire others. And music, food, and family traditions will take center stage at this weekend's Sweetings Key Homecoming Festival. And that's all coming up when our news returns.
In the Bahamas, island time is real. The history of Morris Lumber Company, established in 1945, is etched into the fabric of this proud island nation. It's a story that deserves to be celebrated in full color, and that's where we come in. Morris the Paint Place has been bringing color and vitality to homes and businesses across the Bahamas. Here, color is more than just a hue, it's a symbol of life. Together, we can paint a brighter future.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Grand Bahama is home to a unique economic arrangement, with that arrangement between government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority under scrutiny as tensions persist.
It's not our direct responsibility to carry out these other things that people think we should be doing.
We need this to be dealt with quicker than quicker and sooner than sooner.
I have a vision for Grand Bahama, and my vision is actually bigger than my grandfather's ever was.
Watch City in Focus, the story of Freeport with Italia Hall, starting August 7th only on RTV.
just a few weeks, it will be 6 years since Hurricane Dorian devastated Grand Bahama and Abaco, and as the anniversary nears, one survivor is turning her pain into purpose. Grand Bahama resident and author Tyra Pryfram is sharing her family's harrowing experience in a new book titled The Ocean in Our Blood. It details her terrifying survival during a 20-foot storm surge with her and her family, the emotional toll of starting over, relocating, and the long road to mental healing.
Dorian was traumatic. It was traumatic for everyone that had any involvement in it. It was traumatic for the people that survived in their attic like we did. It's traumatic for the people who were worrying about the people who were stuck in attics and not knowing who was alive and who had passed. For us, we swam around inside of the house as the water got higher and higher and higher until it finally reached the ceiling. And that's when we decided that the attic was our last option. Going into the attic was scary because once we were up there was no way out. We were trapped.
She said her family had to be rescued and says the idea for the book came while she was in therapy 6 months after the storm. She says it became a form of healing rather, and believes it can offer hope to others.
Without writing the book, I'm not sure that I would have processed the trauma quite the same. I spent 2.5 years in total in therapy, working with different therapists, different programs. Writing really was the force to find the strength to get over, to process, to feel better. A lot of depression and anxiety issues that I had to find a way through. And so yeah, the book was really a saving grace.
When our news comes back from the break, music, food, and family traditions will take center stage this weekend at the Sweetings Key Homecoming Festival. It will make its much-anticipated return, bringing life back to the small community.
Coming up in sports, a first look at the preliminary roster for the FIBA America Cup. One college hooper aims to host his first community outreach effort. Junior golfers finish strong in Puerto Rico, and your 10YS Plays of the Week.
And Greg is back with the extended weather when our news continues. Stay with us.
Wendy's got you covered. Grab a day single or chicken sandwich with a junior fries and 16-ounce beverage for just $6.95. Why choose less from the other guys when you can get more? At Wendy's, we're providing bigger bites and better deals. So purchase your Tings Tough Value Meal today. Now available at all locations excluding the airport and food truck.
Welcome.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Marknut. Let's do show. The Bahamas Basketball Federation has unveiled its preliminary roster for the upcoming FIBA America Cup in Nicaragua. A mix of veteran experience and emerging talent highlights the 19-man list. Headlining the group is NBA forward Kai Jones, returning alongside veterans Travis Munnings, Franco Miller Jr., Kentuan Smith, and Keno Burrows, all of whom were featured in last year's historic Olympic qualifier run. Another NBA talent, Isaiah Mobley, looks to make his national team debut in a front-court talent pool that also includes Tavario Miller, Sammy Hunter, Nathaniel Bastian, Kenny Isnord, Dan Rad-Knowles, and Aaron Lavardi. Guards like Dominic Bridgewater, Rashad Davis, Garvin Clark Jr., Godfrey Roll III, Aaron Gordon, Joshua Dames, and Jackson Jacob bring continuity to the backcourt. Final roster decisions will be made ahead of the competition, with the America Cup set to tip off August 22nd to 31st in Managua, Nicaragua.
Dayton Aubrey plans for his Bald Head Elite basketball camp to be more than just a weekend, but a long-term investment for the future of Bahamian basketball. Aubrey's vision is for players to stay connected with him beyond the court, gaining access to his skill development drills and mentorship throughout the season. The end goal, a mobile app where players can track progress and earn rewards by committing to their craft. The camp is completely free for the invited athletes, who will also receive an exclusive Bald Head apparel package. Aubrey, a senior national team member, now heads into his final season of college basketball with the University of New Mexico.
I just want to give the kids the experience that I wish I had when I was in high school growing up. Having the opportunity to witness a different perspective of basketball, like, just teaching them different drills and how college offense and defense is run, and, just having guys that been through it and, places where these kids want to be. So, yeah, I just want to give them that experience.
Team Bahamas delivered a strong showing at the 37th Caribbean Amateur Junior Golf Championships, capping off the event in Puerto Rico with a third-place overall finish. The girls 15 and under division was the standout, led by Madison Carroll, who claimed individual first-place honors, and a team first-place finish alongside Haley Hall. Both the girls and boys 18 and under teams finished third overall in their respective divisions. The under 13 teams both had fourth-place finishes, while the boys 15 and under team also placed fourth. The event also featured 2 hole-in-one highlights for Team Bahamas, Maximilian Landry on Tuesday and Rashawn Hanna on Wednesday. It's ridiculous to believe that it's August already. Russ Cole was right. Time is a flat circle. True detective fans out there, y'all get it. Let's get to top plays. At number 5, let's get started in the minors. Christian Robinson's first AAA appearance and first AAA hit.
At number 4, indie baseball in Canada, All-Star Toby Simmons keeps his momentum going with a 3-run shot.
Coming in at number 3, back to the minors, and the comeback season for Ian Lewis continues with his team leading 6 home run for the Jupiter Hammerheads. Let's go Marlins, make the call.
At number 2, you can be great, and JJ is, but sometimes it's better to be lucky, just beating the clock.
And at number 1, we wrap things up in Singapore at the World Aquatics Champs. Lamar Taylor sets a new national record in the 100-meter free, 48.52 seconds. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. All right, you got like 2 weeks. You ready for Nicaragua?
Of course.
I don't believe him. Back to the studio.
Seniors still ahead on our news tonight looking for something fun to do this holiday weekend, while the Sweet and Ski Homecoming Festival makes its much anticipated return to the island, bringing life back to the community. And Greg is back with your weekend weather forecast when our news returns. Stay with us.
Every week, one show drives the national conversation. On the Record. We challenge the issues, ask the tough questions, and dig deeper. We bring in the experts, the decision makers, and the voices that matter. Our discussions shape policy, influence change, and inform the public like no other. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episodes on our YouTube channel. The conversations that shape the Bahamas start here, on the Record.
What do you get when you're searching for the whole truth?
Less than 24 hours after the body of 12-year-old was discovered on a track road on Faith Avenue, police say they...
You get the most comprehensive half hour of news.
Breach of the party's constitution.
Behind me is what remains of the Victoria Court Apartment Complex.
Our News at 7 brings you that truth in all of the day's top stories, sports, and our view of the world. Join me, Gandino Knowles, weeknights for Our News at 7. Stay with the team you already trust.
From 2017, one show has set the standard for current affairs in the Bahamas, and that's On the Record, one of the longest running current affairs shows on RTV. We've been the place where newsmakers come to talk. We've sat down with leaders in government, cultural icons, industry leaders, and international experts. From breaking news to in-depth analysis, our conversation sets the tone for the
This is our weather. Welcome back. High pressure still at the surface and loft dominating our weather. We do have a bit of a weak disturbance moving in the wind flow. That's continued to generate a few showers across the area, but all in all, it's going to be quiet across us as that high pressure stays in charge, and that high pressure actually extends all the way out across the Atlantic. That's keeping most of the tropical activity at bay. Also, we do have some Saharan dust mixing in, so that's going to continue to keep conditions stable. Speaking of the tropics, nothing happening out there in the far eastern Atlantic, just a couple of tropical waves moving across the tropical belt, not showing any signs of development at this time, and into the Caribbean, also quiet there with a few tropical waves moving. Gulf of Mexico, much the same as dry air mass stays in place. Locally at home, as I mentioned, high pressure at the surface, weak disturbance moving through our area, sparking a few showers, likely to continue through tonight and into tomorrow, but we won't expect much in terms of any significant rainfall. Future forecast showing most of the activity well out there in the open Atlantic. That will start to drift towards the northwest, and we could see a couple of isolated showers. Notice most of this moisture to the north. That is a frontal boundary actually dropping across Florida, but that will stay well to the north. Boating forecast, northwest and central Bahamas tonight through tomorrow. Winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, falling light and variable at times. Seas running 2 to 4 feet over the open waters. Low tide is at 8:45 tonight. High tide at 2:20 in the morning. Southeast Bahamas, caution flag in place. Rip current risk elevated. Easterly winds 15 to 20 knots. 4 to 6 foot seas expected over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, just some spotty showers in the forecast Saturday and Sunday for the weekend, but high pressure remains in charge. Temperatures will stay in the 90s. Feels like temperatures in the triple digits. That should take us into early next week, and then by the middle of next week, we see some increase in some moistures, so some more showers in the forecast. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night. Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Well, the Eastern Grand Bahama community of Sweetings Key is set to host its Homecoming Festival on August 9th and 10th, and organizers say it'll be one to remember, with performances by DMAC and the Island Vibes Band, plus a full lineup of events, including an egg and spoon race, sack race, domino tournament, kayaking, and fish scaling contests, and much more. The Ministry of Tourism's Grand Bahama office is one of the sponsors this year. Senior Executive for Vertical Markets, Wendell Saunders, says everyone should experience a cultural celebration. Sweetings Key Heritage Committee Vice President Janet Feaster is hoping the weekend brings out families for a safe and joyful time.
We ask that visitors and locals alike come out and enjoy this great cultural initiative that is taking place on Sweetings Key. There will be great food, drinks, music, a kiddies corner, and live entertainment by Dylan McKenzie.
We want to invite the public to come out and celebrate the 9th and 10th of August with us in Sweetings Key, and we would like for everyone to have a good time. If you think you're coming there to cause any problem, please stay home, because we want everybody to come there. We're going to have children there, and we want them to have a good time.
There are also several prizes this year, including the top prize, a 7-day cruise sponsored by Carnival Cruise Line. Carnival's Director of Public and Community Affairs for the Bahamas, Philcher Grant, says the company felt moved to support the community event, while Assistant Entertainment Manager at Celebration Key, Ashwana Gordon, reminds the public that with Carnival is always about fun.
The persistence of this committee, the passion, the drive that they had for their people, and the purpose that they said that they had for this homecoming committee, we had to revisit, take another look at the numbers, and we decided to sponsor with a cruise. And hats down to anyone that cares that much about their community, that pushes so hard to advance their community. And Sweetings Key community has been through a lot. They are resilient. They have come back from things that would have destroyed most people. We needed to be a part of that, and we had to support that.
Remember, on the Carnival Cruise, it's all about fun. We take our fun seriously, so you get to enjoy live entertainment, lots of theater action, cruising day at sea, different ports, and hey, you even get to come to Celebration Key.
All right, sounds like it's going to be a great event in Sweetings Key. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.